Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're stepping away from the usual sources and diving into a digital storefront. It's a site called 199XSHOES. This whole deep dive comes from a pretty detailed vetting of this online shoe seller. And when you first hit the site, it really does look appealing. We're talking stylish men's shoes, right? Boots, dress shoes. The pictures are super clear. Navigation's easy. They've got collections, a size guide, even order tracking. Looks legit. So our mission today is pretty clear. We need to look behind that polished, almost Instagram perfect surface. We'll unpack the main red flags that came up in the review. Is 199XSHOES a real luxury retailer, or is it, well, potentially a risk?
Yeah, and that's the tricky part, isn't it? These scam sites, they've gotten really good at the look. They make the platform seem professional. But the real tension here is the difference between a site that looks trustworthy and one that's actually earned that trust through evidence. It really comes down to what's missing. What basic proof just isn't there?
Okay, let's start with something most shoppers notice first, the price. The report highlighted how 199XSHOES leans heavily on big discounts. Really big. Like right now they're pushing a Halloween sale, offering up to 25% off. Now sales are normal, sure, but
When a site leads with deals that seem, too good, that can be a bit of a warning sign in itself. It's often a tactic, right? Hook you with the price so maybe you don't look too closely at other things like the lack of solid credentials.
okay, so the price is the bait.
And the lack of outside visibility. That's maybe the trap. This is where it gets interesting. Think about it. A real store, especially one claiming luxury goods, should leave tracks online. Reviews on independent sites, social media presence, customer feedback. You'd expect to see chatter on places like Trustpilot, maybe fashion forums, even the BBB sometimes.
But the source material says that outside its own website, 199XSHOES is, well, almost invisible. A ghost online. Though I have to wonder, couldn't they just be really new, like a startup that hasn't poured money into marketing yet? Everyone starts somewhere.
That's a fair question, but it ties back to the cost of building actual trust versus just setting up a quick, slick-looking site. It's kind of like a new restaurant, maybe. If their only advertising is on their own flyer and there's zero buzz on Yelp or anywhere else, would you immediately trust them? Scammers often prefer to stay small, keep a low profile. That way they avoid scrutiny on platforms where people can hold them accountable.
Right, that makes sense. That lack of accountability seems to tie into the next point,
Yeah.
transparency issues. So they have the pages, like in About Us and a contact section, but the review found them pretty empty.
Exactly. Having the page title isn't enough. It's what's on the page that matters, or in this case, what isn't. You look for clear, verifiable details, a physical address, a working phone number, maybe company registration info, something concrete. Here, it's just vague language, no substance. You've got no real idea who you're dealing with or where your money's going.
And what happens if something goes wrong? There's no clear path for recourse.
Precisely. That lack of detail is a major red flag for legitimacy.
Okay, and then there are the visuals themselves, the photos that draw you in initially, those really nice shoe pictures. The review flagged that these exact images sometimes pop up on other shoe websites.
Yeah, and that's a huge warning sign. It suggests they might be using stolen images from legitimate brands or just generic stock photos. So you see this picture of a beautiful, high-quality shoe.
But what you actually receive could be totally different.
Exactly. It could be a cheap knockoff that falls apart quickly. If you think you're buying luxury, that's not just a few bucks down the drain. It's potentially a much more expensive lesson learned.
So putting it all together, the overall assessment from the review is pretty clear. Approach with caution, a lot of caution. The lack of transparency, the fact that they're hard to find online, outside their own site, plus the heavy discounting, it all adds up to a risky proposition.
Definitely. If you're still tempted by those particular shoes, the advice is clear. Do your homework. Really dig around. Look hard for reviews or mentions on other platforms away from their controlled environment. And maybe, just maybe, consider a very small test order first. See what actually shows up, how long it takes before you commit any serious money.
Right. It leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? If a company invests so much in making their website look sharp and in offering these deep discounts, but seemingly invests nothing in building an independent, verifiable reputation, what are they asking you to ignore? What crucial piece of trust are they hoping you'll just overlook? Something to really think about before you enter those credit card details.